This week, the Senate Finance Committee had an oversight hearing on the Troubled Asset Relief Program. Most everybody knows that as the acronym TARP. The Special Inspector General for TARP, which is a position that I helped set up, discussed with us his findings that the government's auto bailout, meaning automobile bailout, in fact, put at risk 100,000 jobs when it was marked as a program that was supposed to save jobs. Unfortunately, the report comes too late for many car dealership owners and suppliers across the country who were actually forced out of business by the government for very little reason. The Special IG's report also delineated that taxpayer money at risk has grown since a year ago, despite TARP winding down because of non-TARP government assistance. The estimate has grown from $3 trillion to $3.7 trillion. Just think about that, $0.7 trillion. That's equal, a one-year growth, equal to what we originally appropriated. I also discussed at this hearing the possibility of the Finance Committee subpoenaing information from Goldman about additional beneficiaries of the taxpayer-funded AIG bailout in 2008. We know that Goldman was a counterparty to AIG, and so it benefited, but the Congressional Oversight Panel has reported that Goldman counterparties may have benefited in turn by avoiding as much as $11 billion in losses. That's $1 billion in losses. Now understand, that's taxpayers' money that maybe benefited Goldman. Now Goldman has withheld the identity of those investors and beneficiaries. It seems that ought to be public information, given that public dollars were used for the bailout. Other issues were addressed too, including whether the government's home loan modification program is doing any good. The Treasury Department said it would result in 3 to 4 million modifications, in other words, people not losing their homes. But since the program launched in March 2009, only about 10%, in other words, 340,000 permanent modifications have happened, while, get this, 430,000 trial modifications have failed. So there's been more failures than successes, but still only 10% of what was promised. The investment by the American taxpayer in the TARP program is unprecedented. As good stewards of taxpayer money, it is essential that we exercise the higher standard of oversight, and that's what the Senate Finance Committee was doing this week.